first episode of Baddies Africa ended up dropping yesterday, and let me tell you, it was definitely an eventful episode. So much went down, so let's get right into it. So before they end up heading out to Africa, they actually end up making a pit stop in Atlanta. Now, Natalie said that they made a pit stop in Atlanta because they had some business to take care of, but I think part of it had to do with the fact that Stunner Girl is supposed to be making an appearance this season, and because she's not going with them to Africa, it only made sense for them to go to her in Atlanta. Now look, Natalie ends up having a sit down with Rolly, Scotty, and Ahna, but before Scotty and Ahna end up showing up, it's just Natalie and Rolly, and basically Natalie says that she's tired of the disrespect from the OGs, specifically Ahna and Scotty. She said that they're disrespectful and they act extremely entitled. Now, I know that people don't like Natalie for whatever reason, they don't like her, and so they're gonna automatically take Scotty and Ahna's side. However, I do understand where she's coming from when it comes to the entitlement from the OGs, because a lot of the fans, if you go back into those comment sections on social media, a lot of people were saying the same thing about the OGs. They never wanted to stay in the house with the new girls. They didn't do anything. They got too comfortable. They weren't showing up to bookings that they were advertised to be at. They just got way too comfortable and were really boring. And honestly, no matter if you like the newbies or not, if it wasn't for them, Baddies Midwest would have been a flop because the OGs were being really boring. Not until the new girls came in and shook things up that things got interesting. Now, while Natalie and Rolly were having this conversation, Scotty actually ends up showing up, and Natalie tells her that her outfit looks cute, and that's when Scotty throws a little bit of shade and said that Natalie's saying that she looks cute now, but when they were in Hawaii, she said that Lex was prettier than her, and Natalie started to feel like Scotty was doing too much because that situation in Hawaii happened months before the reunion filmed, and at the reunion, Scotty didn't say anything about being upset with Natalie. They seemed like they were cool with each other. They were backstage taking shots with each other. She was even shocked at the fact that Diamond the Body put her hands on Natalie at the reunion, so Natalie's confused as to why Scotty is bringing this up like they have a really big issue with each other when the issue was not addressed at the reunion. And look, I can understand where Natalie's coming from. If Scotty had an issue with that, Scotty should have addressed it at the reunion and not waited until they started filming Baddies Africa. However, I can understand why Scotty feels the way she does, because it's like, don't compliment me now when you just called me ugly and said another girl was prettier than me. So I get both sides of the situation. Personally, I'm not on either one of their sides in this situation because to me, they're both phony and they talk about each other. Jayla even said this in her recent interview. She said that her, Scotty, and all the other girls talk shit about Natalie too. It's just that the cameras don't pick up on it, but Natalie's always caught talking about them on camera. So they talk about Natalie, the cameras just don't air what they say. So I think they're all messy. I think they're all fake, and I think that they all hang out with each other because they all benefit from each other in some way. Now, Ahna actually ends up showing up while Natalie and Scotty are going back and forth, and she sits right next to Scotty, and Natalie looks at them and calls them both fake and says that their friendship is fake because Ahna came on the show beefing with Scotty and the two of them fought. That was Anna's introduction to Baddies, was her immediately coming in and fighting Scotty. And Ahna does admit that her and Scotty are not friends with each other. She said they're not best friends. They're barely even cool with each other, but the reason why they linked up is because obviously they have a common enemy in Natalie, which to me is still fake, but at the end of the day, they're having each other's back in this particular situation because there's somebody in common that they have that they don't like. Now, Natalie tells Scotty that the issue that she had with her last season is that Scotty got up on the table while they were in Hawaii after she was fighting with Summer, and she held up the Baddies box and said that she had Summer's chain and that she took it from Natalie's room, and so Natalie felt some type of way because she felt like Scotty was trying to make it seem like she was the one who helped her take Summer's chain when she really didn't have anything to do with it, and Natalie clarified right in front of Scotty's face that that chain did not come from her room and that Scotty never got that from her, and Scotty didn't disagree. So Scotty probably got that shit from Lemmy or somebody on production because we know she gets special treatment and she didn't want to throw them under the bus, so she just made it seem like Natalie was the one that gave it to her. So I can understand. I mean, Natalie does have a valid point to have an issue with Scotty on that. She said that Scotty does a lot of messy stuff behind the scenes that the cameras don't pick up on, and so it looks like Scotty's just an innocent, sweet girl in every situation when really she's not. Now, personally, I know Scotty's not sweet and innocent. I know she probably does some messy shit in the background. That's some of the fans who make it seem like Scotty's an angel. I don't think Scotty's an angel, okay? She's just smart enough to not do her dirty stuff in front of the cameras. Natalie has always did her shit in front of the cameras for everybody to see her being messy, to see her being fake, and to see her being a bad friend. If she doesn't want to be painted in that light, she should probably stop doing it on camera the way that she does. Now, I'm sorry, when Natalie and Scotty were arguing with each other and Natalie started being extra animated, showing how Scotty was ducking the fade with Lex at the reunion and all throughout the season, I thought that was funny. I'm sorry, I laughed because Scotty definitely was ducking a fade from Lex. She can say that she wasn't and that security was in the way, but really if she wanted to fight Lex, she could have ran up on Lex and hit her at any point in time. I just think she really didn't want to fight her. I don't think she wanted her face to get messed up. I don't think she wanted a black eye. I don't think she wanted any knowledge. knots and Lex is always giving somebody a knot in a fight. I just feel like she didn't want that to happen, and that's why she didn't want to fight Lex. I mean, Security definitely does overprotect Scotty, so she does have a point. Security was in the way, but even if Security wasn't in the way, in the moments that Security wasn't, she didn't run up on Lex at all. Now, Ahna gets mad and she starts saying that Natalie overdoes her job, like Natalie just gets too messy on the show and crosses people that she's supposed to be friends with just because she claims that it's about business. And the thing about it is that I feel like, and I know people are going to get mad at me for saying this because they don't like when I say this type of stuff, but Ahna has no real reason to be beefing with Natalie. She was never close with Natalie. She was never one of Natalie's friends, okay? She involved herself in issues that Jayla and Scotty had with Natalie, and they ended up making up with Natalie right after that. And also, Jayla ended up admitting that even though she was mad at Natalie for not getting involved in the fight that she had with Dolly at the club, she did admit during her interview when she had a little bit too much to drink that her and Scotty were the one that orchestrated the whole fight at the club that night. She said that Scotty was the one that told her that Dolly kicked her, and that's the reason why Jayla orchestrated the whole thing. She even went as far as to pick a fight song for Natalie to play at the club so that she can end up starting a fight with Dolly. So she admitted that herself in an interview. So if she's the one who started the fight, Natalie didn't have to get involved at all, especially because she's the boss of all these girls. She's not supposed to pick sides in those situations. Even if they come on the show as Natalie's friend, at the end of the day, if they get into a fight with one of the girls on the show, Natalie's not supposed to get involved. Now, I can see if it was a girl who wasn't casted on the show that put her hands on Jayla or Scotty, then Natalie should get involved. But if it's one of the girls on the show, I don't think that she can get involved. I feel like it's a conflict of interest. So Ahna is basically over the talking, and she tells Natalie to get up because she wants to fight her. So Natalie ends up getting up, and Security is kind of holding her in a corner. Natalie throws a plate towards where Ahna is at, so Anna's trying to break loose from Security. So Natalie ends up going over there to where Anna's at, and she's trying to swing over Security. Both of them are trying to swing over Security. To me, it was pointless because they weren't going to be able to touch each other anyway. I mean, at one point, Security was in the way, and Natalie did swing over Ahna, and it looked like she connected a hit to Ahna. I don't know if she actually did, but that's what it looked like from that scene. I did slow it down a little bit, and it did look like she touched Ahna a little bit, and that's why Ahna was trying to get to Natalie. At one point, they were swinging on each other, and they were holding on to each other's hair a little bit, but they didn't really get to fight, so I just don't know why people are saying that either one of them whooped the other, because to me, they didn't even really get to fight each other because Security was in the way. At one point, Natalie is in a corner, and Ahna is still trying to get over there to fight her, and Scotty's taking her shoes off, and that's when Rolly stands up because she sees Scotty taking her shoes off, and she tells Scotty that she's not going to allow her to jump Natalie, which that's one of the reasons why I do think it was good that Rolly was there, because it kind of evened the playing field, because I don't like to see anybody get jumped. I don't care if it's a girl I don't like. I don't like to see anybody get jumped. So I did think that it was good that Rolly was there to even the playing field. Now, during this back and forth between Ahna and Natalie, Scotty does get up, and she is trying to get over there to fight Natalie. She's trying to throw things at Natalie, and at one point she tries to throw a plate at Natalie, and it actually ends up hitting Rolly, and Rolly kept her composure in that situation, because if this was Rolly from a couple of seasons ago, she probably would have took off on Scotty for hitting her with that plate, even if it was an accident. So she definitely composed herself in that situation. Scotty looked like she got a little bit scared when Rolly confronted her about that, though, so I just thought that was kind of a little bit funny. Now, Security won't let any of them fight, so it was pointless at this point. So Natalie decides that she's going to leave, and before she leaves, she makes sure to tell Ahna that she's supposed to come to a sit down with her and Stunner Girl, and that she needs to make sure she's there. Now, Ahna feels like it's a setup. And I mean, it probably was a setup. However, Ahna has jumped other people before, so even if she did get jumped, I would feel bad because I don't like seeing anybody get jumped. However, she's done it to other people, so it would have been her karma. I know that's going to be in an unpopular opinion, and people are going to have a problem with me saying that, but it's true. Now, Ahna ends up leaving the table, and she ends up FaceTiming Diamond the Body and tells her that she fought Natalie. I don't know why she said she fought Natalie. They really didn't fight each other. Security was literally between them. There was one in front of them, two behind them, and they just really didn't even really get to touch each other. They were basically swinging at the air. And I'm sorry, I know people are going to get mad about this too, but Diamond is a clout chaser, an admitted clout chaser. She admits that she creates fake beefs and that she's not serious about any of the beefs that she has. So anybody jumping to her side to go against somebody else is weird to me, because at the end of the day, Diamond's going to do it for entertainment purposes only. She admitted at the reunion she didn't even have a real issue with Natalie. She just did it for entertainment purposes, and she ended up apologizing. So I just feel like it's dumb for Ahna to link up with Diamond the Body to go against Natalie when Diamond has admitted she doesn't even have a real issue with Natalie, and she only does it for entertainment purposes. And her and Natalie were cool while they were in Africa, because we saw all the clips going around on social media. Diamond does what she does for entertainment purposes only, and although it does work, I feel like that's why the other girls should not get involved in any beefs that Diamond has, because it seems like none of the beefs that she ever has is real. And Diamond admits this herself, so I'm not saying it's a bad thing about her. I just think it's stupid for Ahna to link up with her to go against Natalie, only for, Diamond the Body to be cool with Natalie before this season ended, because we saw all the clips going around on social media. Ahna jumped into other people's beef that they had with Natalie, and she should have stayed out of it, because all those people that were beefing with Natalie are now cool with her again. The only person right now that's beefing with Natalie, I think, is Rolly, and they're not even necessarily beefing. The two of them get into arguments with each other, unfollow each other, and then they're cool again. So I just feel like people should stay out of it. So Ivori and Pretty P actually end up meeting up with Diamond the Body. Ivori and Pretty P got cool with each other last season, and Ivori knows that there's an issue between Diamond the Body and Pretty P. They had a little bit of an issue last season, and Diamond reignited that beef when she put a clown face emoji over Pretty P's face when the cast images ended up coming out. So Pretty P started pressing Diamond about it when they meet up with each other, and basically, Ivori tells them that they need to squash whatever beef they have because she feels like it's pointless. I love that Ivori was being a peacemaker in this situation, because usually she stirs up the drama, but this time she kind of wanted them to squash it. I think they're all trying to build some type of alliance, which personally, building alliances never really work on shows like this because people end up falling out with each other at some point. So I think it's stupid to try to build some type of alliance, but at the end of the day, that's exactly what they were doing in this episode. Now, Ivori starts telling them that she got jumped by Stunner Girl and some guys and some girls. It was like 5 people that jumped her, and she said that Stunner Girl ended up finding her location. Like, she ended up finding out which hotel she was at. Now, Ivori at first was thinking that it was Natalie, and Diamond the Body was trying to push the narrative that it was actually Natalie. However, after they filmed this scene, Ivori actually did, because I saw it in real time, go online and say that it wasn't Natalie. So Natalie wasn't the one that did it. I think that Diamond just wanted to push that narrative because obviously she wanted to get all the girls on her side to be against Natalie. And Stunner Girl also ended up saying in this episode that it was not Natalie, and she thinks it's funny that people are saying it was Natalie because now they won't actually know how she got people's locations, and she'll probably be able to get people's locations again using the way that she was able to get Ivori's. But yeah, I definitely saw Ivori clear it up and say that Natalie was not the one that gave her location to Stunner Girl. Probably the day, I think, after they ended up filming that particular scene in Atlanta. It was right before they were going to Africa. She made a comment saying that it wasn't Natalie. Now, Big Lex, Summer, and Dolly all end up pulling up together to the location where Diamond the Body, Ivori, and Pretty P is at, and Diamond admits that she's the one that invited them because she wants them to be on their side. She wants to really build this big alliance so that everybody could be against Natalie and the new girls that Natalie is bringing to the show, because Natalie was saying that she was going to get Diamond the Body jumped all season because Diamond snuck her at the reunion, so that's why Diamond's trying to build this really big alliance. But as soon as Dolly, Pretty P, and Lex walk in, Dolly immediately tells Ivori to stand up, and she starts swinging on Ivori. The two of them start fighting, and look, I slowed it down and watched it 3 times. They were catching each other this first round, okay? So I definitely feel like the first round was a tie. But I will say, I don't really like the way that Dolly fights, because she swings with her head down a little bit, and she swings too fast. And I feel like she can't really connect because she's swinging so fast, she don't know where she's swinging at. But she definitely did catch Ivori a few times. I definitely saw them catching each other in this first round. Now, I did notice that when Dolly and Ivori started fighting, all of a sudden Diamond the Body comes from the side and she starts swinging on Dolly, and that's when Summer runs around and she jumps in. Now, Pretty P tries to jump in too, but Lex gave her a look and stepped forward like, don't try it or I'm gonna swing on you too. So Lex kind of scared Pretty P a little bit into not getting involved in that fight, but Pretty P was definitely getting ready to. Now, I will say, I do like that Ivori admitted that both her and Dolly were wearing rings when they fought, so that's the reason why they both ended up blacking each other's eyes and giving each other some knots. But she took her rings off for the second round, and she told Dolly to take hers off too. I think Dolly did take hers off, but initially she was not trying to fight another round with Ivori until Ivori kept pressing for another round. So they did end up fighting again. And let me say, in the second round, I will say Ivori won, because when I watched it in slow motion, it looked like Ivori was the one that was overpowering Dolly in that fight. So I will say she won. A bunch of people ended up jumping in. Summer jumped in, Pretty P jumped in, Diamond the Body jumped in. It was just chaos. And when the fight is broken up, that's when Diamond starts telling Big Lex, Dolly, and Summer that they should not be on Natalie's side because Natalie doesn't really care about any of them, and look how she did Scotty. And I just feel like nobody should care about that. At the end of the day, these girls are on this show to make money. They're not trying to be friends with Natalie. Everybody should get involved with Natalie and know that she's not their friend and that it's business. It's when you try to make it a friendship that it kind of gets messed up. They need to keep it strictly business and stop trying to be friends. But that would have been stupid for these girls to join join Diamond's side anyway and go against Natalie because, like I said, we saw clips at towards the end of this season that Diamond the Body and Natalie were cool, laughing, hugging, dancing with each other, exchanging gifts with each other. So it would have been stupid for these girls to go against Natalie to be on Diamond's side. That's just my opinion, and I know it's a very unpopular opinion. Now, Diamond and Summer are in each other's faces and they do end up fighting each other because Summer said that she wanted to fight Diamond. Now, Ivori thought that Summer wanted to fight her, but Summer made it very clear that she did not want to fight Ivori. She wanted to fight Diamond. Now, they start fighting each other, and honestly, it wasn't a good fight. To me, neither one of them could really fight, but I guess I'll give it to Diamond because I feel like she got a little bit more hits in than Summer. But I will say, yikes. I mean, Summer really messed up when she made that Emmett Till comment. She made the comment that one of them looked like Emmett Till because their face was all beat up. And I was like, that was really distasteful. Like, she should not have said that. I don't even know what was the point of Zeus even airing that comment. It was really disrespectful. I feel like Summer does not think before she speaks, and she really needs to learn to do that. Now, before Summer, Dolly, and Lex end up leaving, Summer ends up grabbing Pretty P's purse off the couch. She said that she didn't know which girl's purse it was, but she was taking it with her anyway, so it was Pretty P's. Pretty P definitely confirmed that it was her purse, and Summer was the one that took it. I don't feel like she should have took anybody's things. I'm sorry. I think that's messy, taking somebody's purse. It has their money in it. It has their cards, their IDs. I just feel like it was not necessary for her to take that girl's purse. Now, Natalie and Stunner Girl end up getting together for their meetup with Ahna, and basically Ahna ends up showing up. She's dressed in all black, sneakers, hair tied back because she knows she's gonna have to fight. She has a bunch of rings on her finger because we were able to see that in the video, and Natalie kept saying she got a bunch of rings on. She has a bunch of rings on. So she probably thought that she was gonna end up getting jumped, but that actually did not end up happening. She didn't get jumped at all. Stunner Girl sat back while Natalie and Ahna did what they had to do. Natalie and Ahna do start swinging at each other. At one point, Ahna did swing at Natalie. It looked like it was an open hand though, and she kind of tapped Natalie in her mouth. So Natalie was trying to get to her, and she was getting frustrated because security was in the way. Security did move, and it showed the two of them swinging on each other. However, security was still over there, and we can't see who really won that fight. To me, it looked like neither one of them was really doing anything. That's just my opinion. I don't really think from what we were able to see that either one of them won that fight, but I guess because people have their favorites, they're gonna say one of them won. But I personally didn't see a winner in that situation. Now, they cut the episode at Natalie and Ahna getting ready to fight. We do know that Stunner Girl and Ahna end up fighting in the next episode. So that's it for the first episode of Baddies Africa. Now, I know I had some very unpopular opinions in this review, but let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.